Hello everyone. Today, we start the third video of the series. We start by making a script for the pooling system. For whos are wondering why there are two other background in the left and on the right of the middle background, is because if we change the aspect ratio or the screen size, the background will be distorted. Even if we scale it, the pattern drawing in it will be too big and not symmetric. And even with this trick, the change of the screen size make the UI so small and not fit. See the button and text in the corner of game window. Even 4K it create this problem. So we return to the 16:10 aspect ratio. For the solution we will show it later. We run the script. We import all the necessary namespace. Then declaring variables. A list of game object that hold the enemy ball because it is was we will spawn. The declaration is dynamic. An amount for the size of the pool. The game object that will be inside the pool. We then make an awake function for singleton logic. We see the error because we must create a static instance. Now good. Second, in start method, a for loop, for initiating the pool with corresponding size, and affecting to it, the obj game object, the clone of original object E, but it is set to false I, and last we tapped it by the add method inside the list of game object. Next, a public game object function that return a game object. That mean to get a object from the pool, we see the error because we need to return something. So we set the return null just until we finish the code. We launch a for loop that check if all the object in the pool with its specific index my if are active in hierarchy. If yes, the game object in index of I will be returned that mean. Set to true. If no, it returned to null. So no game object. Another function to reset all object of pool E. And this time we use for each that iterate all obj inside the list of game object E and set them to false E. We create an empty object to act as the pool. We name it, we drag the script and then fill it, with the game object and number as the size of pool. We press play E, and all pool objects are disabled but are seen in hierarchy. Now next step we need to improve the spawn script. Change some line of code to use the pool system from the spawn script E, so we comment previous code T and start new one A. The 2 line from previous code A. Then we create a game object named Bullet to use the method of getPooledObject from pool script that we can use it from another script because of singleton instance school with a if statement. If the bullet is not empty, we affect each element of pool list inside the bullet variable, a position E a rotation, then we set it to true with a timer that coordinate the logic after each amount. Time value, a new object from the pool is set active to true I, return to unity, we press play. Then the first object of the list was called and it visible in the game. I reduce the amount of pool variable to 5 to I5 for fast debugging purpose, but after the 5 object all of them to OW will be set to true. The spawn will be no longer capable of adding new object and timer inside spawner script will become negative. So I add a counter int to count each pool object added to game. So when this counter reaches the same number of pool size, we fire the reset pool object function and start over, be spawning them. So like add 5 there, take them, then add another 5 there, and we keep going. We go to Unity, and let's test. Good, the 5-1 when is set to active. We see all of them disappear, but the problem when we want to respawn them, they stay idle in their place. So the temporary fix is by increasing to pool amount size to bigger number eyes, that the player cannot reach a scenario where he could not play against all of them. And so he lose before reaching the end of pool, and he replay the game without even knowing that thing. Just we the developers who know this small secret. Now more than 15 ball I, so the perfect where he losed E, and not anyone can still play in this difficulty. So inside the parent canvas choose, we add another child canvas for the game over screen. We create an image, then we drag holder panel UI. It is vertical. We make horizontal by rotating because the game it's played on landscape screen on desktop monitor E. We scale it to make it fit. A small panel with black opacity behind it. Then a text for score and for high score. We to another text mesh pro text for number or, with the last a game over text with black color. Then two circular button 1 for replay. Other for going to home scene. We set the scale, then we position it. Like we see when we change the screen aspect or resolution, the UI gets smaller. We correct a problem of scale. Now let's see. And the solution is in the parent canvas. I forgot to set canvas scaler to scale with screen size T and give the full HD value in X and Y. Don't forget where are in landscape. Now we move the anchor point of pause button and of score text to their respective corners. We create another script I that take care of animation. First, we declare the game object of GameOverCanvas GA to animate it. Then, like always, the instance singleton. We create a function that animate the game over canvas when the ball enemy touch the heart. In this function, we set active to true DYA so he can be visible. Then make the scale to 0. So we can animate the scale like the bump effect. Then we use doScale method of doTween. We must not forget the setUpdate, because it gives us the ability to animate even when time scale is set to 0. Then we go to HeartScript, specifically in onCollision so we can call the previous function. We drag the script to the empty object. Then fill the empty space with the game over canvas. Before we see the animation in action, we create another script score manager in game over canvas. The to button must have an onClick the method for sending player to respective scene. We use the old function game scene, but this time we make it with string parameter so it can be dynamic. In each use case, we send to specific scene equal to name EA. Now in onClick, we can provide the name of scene we want to send the player. The replay button work, but we see the game is frozen. So the problem is the time scale was still set in 0i. Now inside ScoreScript we have two integer that hold the score and high score value E, with 3 Text Mesh Pro that show score in the game, and score and high score in Game Over panel. In start method, we initial the score with 0 value, then pass this value to score text and make it visible with toString in update loop. Always, the score game text keep taking the current value of score. Then in function for increasing the score with an amount each time a ball enemy is spawned. And this addition is given to score variable D. I write all the script once, just to have time to explain. But before, like you see, there is the data manager instance, so let's go to their script. We have the file name with its extension that will hold the data and make it persisted across different scene, even when the game is turned off, or even the device is shut down. Singleton logic. We have a class GameInfo in SaveData method. We make data, convert it to JSON like serialization, then check the path of file, then write all data to the file. In load data method, we return the path, then check if it exists, then read from it. File then give this data to the GameInfo format, so the player can see score. GetPath and CheckFiles just method that return built-in method logic. Now we return to ScoreScript. The high score take the value from persistence data. Then in increase score, we update score. We check high score E. Then affect the first value that will be persisted to data manager. Then check high score function. We see score if it's higher than high score. So if yes, we update this value. High score inside the data manager. Then simple method to return the score. High score. Then we test the game. We see score, the increment. Then we lose deliberately. We see the correct value in Game Over panel. Let's see another scenario. So the high score stay persisted. Good. Let's see if we go to different scene then return to game scene, will it be persisted? Excellent. So everything worked fine? I hope you enjoyed the tutorial for the next and last part, before it will be published to web platforms